Yep,
to
roger.
exploratory. Thank you.
Yeah, we have 40 meters to go.
Hey, give the slurp another go. Now that the hose is stuck back in there.
Is there an eel?
So what happening?
That fish, it's a grenadier, or are you seeing something else?
Oh, I saw something.
Yeah,
It's out of
rotate it away and
view
then
now.
back.
But it looked like a long, like eel-like, what do you call that? Anguilliform
Ah,
body shape.
looks like we're a little tight for transect on the view.
So we're at like 195 meters right now. So
Okay,
yeah, we're
great. Let's stop the transect, please,
okay.
and we'll pop a Niskin
Okay.
if we can, please. Interesting. I have not been able to access the auxiliary data coming off of Nautilus for a while, but I did see something in the chat from Steve that we lost a lot of oxygen in the past 15 minutes. So seems like we may be crossing into the oxygen minimum zone down here, or a hypoxic pocket.
Oh, super
What,
cool.
which Niskin bottle are we doing?
So you can, the only one that's been popped so far has been 1.
Okay.
So you can go 2.
All right. Watching.
Oh, there.
There we
Got
go.
it. And Steve, just to confirm, the Niskins are labeled the same, just 033 we're on now?
Say again?
Sorry, the Niskins labeled the same, just sample 033?
This is 3-2.
32.
Yeah, 3-2.
Okay.
Can we tell whether both of those Niskins were triggered? It looked like the manipulator grabbed 2 and 3 at the same time.
You can,
You said.
one's just closed. One.
Only one closed? Okay, thank you.
Oh, well, I
But
see
one is
there's
half.
3. Actually, no, it does. Did I grab 2 at a time?
It looked like it grabbed 2 and 3 at the same time. but I couldn't tell, and I can't tell whether they're
Oh.
popped. The blue and the yellow both got
Well, looking
pulled,
down
I
the,
believe.
We saw the red one close.
yeah, but looking there in that picture, it does kind of look like.
2 and 3 are half closed.
Yes.
Wait, that the red one's 3 anyway.
Oh. Well, I thought it, Jake, did you see that? I thought the red one closed and we all.
Red one was triggered a few hours ago, and I think we were looking for the blue one, but I think blue and yellow got pulled. But I'm not sure. But the only reason I say that is like, let's move to
Yeah.
4 on the next one, just in case we captured 2 at the same location.
Yeah, that's correct. There's only one Niskin has been logged so far, so it probably.
Dave, can you put the
grab 2.
Niskins up on the big screen? The was it port rail cam? That's, yeah, there's 3 of them.
Okay, so our next Niskin will be number 4, and we'll just note that 2 and 3 were taken at the same location. All right, we
That
can
looks like
switch
3.
to
There's 3 taken. There's clearly 3 of them that were tripped.
Right.
Yeah, this is only officially this is the only the second Niskin sample, so 2 and 3 must have just both triggered accidentally.
All right, do we have any verticality that you guys can see on your high pack nearby?
So, I mean, the next target is pretty much on the same depth. The slope is kind of orthogonal to that direction, to our port side. So I was just going to keep us heading to that next target.
Great,
Okay.
thank you. These opioids are not social distancing. It's making me really nervous. We say that in jest, but
Yeah.
there actually are marine pandemics that have occurred, not to my knowledge in this deep habitat type, but we had a major die-off of sea
Yeah,
stars on the west coast.
The 3 in the back, or see, look in the back. Yeah, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The color on the top there doesn't jibe with what's happening on
Are we getting pulled by the tether?
yeah, I have to
Yeah.
back up a little bit.
The ship's going, but we were holding position for a little, so.
So what's the next course going to be here?
We're going to keep on like 025 or 020. And it's going to be, yeah, we shouldn't change more than 10 meters verticality over that. But we will go over a slight hump. Very slight. Again, we were like in this little dip.
on the move?
Yeah.
And you're going, what's the
Just-
bearing?
025. We're going.
Still?
Yeah. I'll just keep them coming. But
Are we in wandering mode again?
yeah.
Yes, we're exploratory mode, looking for corals and sponges. So
So I'm just stepping.
This is where all the fish hang out here.
sorry, what was that? Could you repeat that?
This looks like where all the fish hang out in this area.
Ah, yeah.
I'm curious, why did you guys call this specific location the essential fish habitat? Based off kind of what?
That is not something I'm calling it. That is an
Oh.
official spatial management designation of the Pacific Fishery Management Council.
Uh-huh.
It is part of Amendment 28 of the Groundfish Management Plan that protects certain areas from bottom contact fishing so that deep sea habitats are not disturbed.
Good.
It's Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary does not really participate in fisheries management. That is the domain of federal fisheries management, state fisheries management when they are in state waters. And
Oh, yeah.
here in Washington, we have a very unique ocean governance
Zoom in
arrangement
on that, Dave.
because the coastal treaty tribes have reserved treaty rights to half of the marine resources within their usual and accustomed fishing areas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really unique situation. Here's a beautiful bubblegum coral, and thank you for getting the base with the lasers, so some aging could be done.
Yanked about.
Ooh. We're coming.
What's the delta? 16. It's right here in front of my face. This is new.
Oh, yeah. Ben's new GUI. Well, it's funny because even an improvement is a downgrade at first because you're like, what?
Yeah.
Getting used to it. Even just the minor things.
We can keep moving on.
We're out in front of the ship, so.
Yeah. I'll
Ah,
bring us
waiting
a
for
little
catch up.
farther
Gotcha.
north.
Nice paragorgia there that we were just looking at. Probably about the same age I am. Love seeing things in the ocean that are older than I am. Would you guys please notify me when the ship is all caught up and we're ready to move?
Yeah, we're continuously moving. You guys have a little more tether. So I'm bringing us a little more north.
We get closer to that wall while we're waiting on the ship. We do a little bit
What are we
of
getting
photo.
closer to?
Just right now.
Just the wall on the left. I can't really see anything from this distance. I'm wondering if there's anything
I
we
think
could
we'll be
look
right
at while the
here.
ship is moving.
It's like
Crinoids. Those are actually animals. They can actually kind of walk.
bridge nav.
They fly sometimes they'll jump off a cliff and float down to a different depth and swim. It's actually neat to see them. So we're just kind of floating. Could we do a tight on the sea star, please?
Sorry, I didn't get what you said.
Could we do a zoom on that sea star, please?
Sea
Just
star.
kind of floating out here.
Where was it? Up here?
Fingers up. Yeah.
Just top of the screen.
Can you zoom in, Dave?
No, that's the anemone. Oh, yeah, sorry. There you go. For the calendar next year. I think there's a little sponge near
Yeah, is
there
that a
too.
sponge?
What's that?
Oh, I was
Oh.
commenting on the sponge.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
Yeah, I know.
The combination of the fans and the masts is just not very good.
I know. Well, I just put on my glasses. I'm trying
My
to avoid
old
the fog.
age. I can't hear anyway.
Just start screaming in your ear.
That's nice. Thank you. Let me go wide again. There's some more of those extruded sea cucumber stomachs.
Wow.
How far are we from the next waypoint, please?
We're about 190 meters. Or 180 meters from the next one.
Okay, well, let's, as we make our way there, maybe we can start another transect when we hit that next waypoint shortly thereafter.
Roger.
Thank you. Is that camera angle, is that wide? Wide as it goes?
Yeah, we're full wide.
Thank you. I'm hearing a bunch of noise on SPL. Is that someone getting set up?
We're not hearing that out here.
Oh, interesting.
Every time you say that, I move
Good.
the mic away from my face. Like, is it me?
Is that a sponge? You want to zoom in quick there, Dave?
Yeah, that's a nice looking sponge. Looks like we've got some corals coming up too. Ooh, pretty. Wow, I wonder what that is. Kind of looks like the Faria morphology, but I wonder if Abby is on.
There's a squat lobster finally.
Yeah. I learned there are over 900 species of those.
Hey, zoom out.
Very diverse group.
Yeah. Yeah, some live like in the surface ocean, some live only on the seafloor, some like alternate between the two. Some of my data was from a very intense layer of those in the water column. It's neat to see that.
Did you study them as
Yeah,
part of your PhD? Cool. Look at that white crab. That's
Gonna look at him?
interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
can.
I
I don't
think
know if
we're
that
gonna
dust
be in the
cloud's gonna
cloud.
get
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was talking to the ship, but yeah, it was. I used like imaging and shipboard
Yeah.
acoustics together
It's
to
in the
kind of look at
cloud.
that.
That's okay. We can move on. You might see another one.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, another nice Paragorgia. Ooh, we're getting a few. see how vertical this wall is, and yet it's still covered in sediment. So interesting.
I'm gonna come north here to.
Yeah, I'm going to change this to be slightly more to the west.
I think we have a fair number of close-ups and glamour shots for the bubblegum coral paragorgia. Is that right? From earlier this morning? Yeah. Let's stop and look at those though, please. Do that without a cloud. Can we stop and look at clusters like that?
Yeah, it's better if they're if we're
Bridge,
ahead. If they're ahead of us and not behind. But, okay, zoom
Yeah,
in.
I keep trying to call it, but we're moving.
Yeah, stop.
Beautiful, thank you. Looks like more of the Swiftia and the primnoids.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting yanked a bit.
That's okay. I'm trying to give you enough warning that as soon as they come on
Well,
the
it's
video,
also
it's almost too late
we
to
have
stop,
a wall,
right?
so the Argus pilot's gonna get. He's gonna try and yank on my chain because he doesn't want to go into the wall.
It's definitely a little more tricky to not go directly up the wall. Keep tracking along it.
Yeah.
Well, if we see another cluster like that, you guys
Okay.
take the
Yeah.
initiative and zoom in, and
Roger.
don't wait on me to call it, please, because then it'll be too late.
All right, I'm going to go ahead.
Now, I would expect to see something growing on a
Yeah,
face
this
like
looks like
that.
a prime spot.
Just goes to show you never quite know what you're going to find.
Here's one of those white crabs again.
Oh, neat. Good.
You want to zoom in, Dave? Is that the same dude as before? Ah.
Nice.
Hey, zoom out.
Spiders of the sea. Making some good distance there. Anything steeper showing nearby on HiPAC? We're in exploratory, so we don't have to stick to our transect or anything.
Yeah.
Bridge nav, can I have a 20-meter step due north? Great, thank you.
Could I get a depth check, please? Can you get a minute?
Yeah, we're at 1,100 meters right now.
Thank you.
Steve, are those cucumbers, holothurians on the bottom left? Those
Yeah.
white,
Yeah, there's a different type. Yeah, those look like the more mobile ones.
Uh-huh. And like if there was something in its gut, you would see it. Like it's transparent.
Yeah, it's completely translucent.
Cool.
There seem to be some nice Swiftia colonies. They're more robust than what we've seen in some of the shallower habitats, it seems. In shallower habitats, they tend to be spindlier, at least in my experience with oh gosh, how many dives? Maybe 50 dives at the most. Small n is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I got it.
Can we get a little closer to the wall, please?
Yeah, sorry, I was messing with my
Working on
audio.
the ship.
Multitasking. All right, I don't want to listen to that. Oops, I don't want to listen to that.
Are we full wide on camera?
Yes, we are full wide.
Thank you.
We got a little upslope of the target, but I don't think these are.
Seems like there's very little current here. Can you tell from how the ROV's behaving?
Sorry, what was that? There's little current?
Very little current
Yeah.
here, it seems.
But it, it shifts around a lot.
Yeah. Well, the seafloor here is this kind of like meandering slope. I can't imagine how complex the current is going into that and out of it and in and out, or what it's doing.
Here's a little cluster. Do we want to zoom on any of these, or are we okay?
I think we're okay on these.
Okay.
These all look to be species that we've seen a fair number of over the last, nearly 11 hours. Appear to be the Swiftia primarily, and some of the noids that we've been seeing. Yeah, Gorgia. If you see an interesting sponge, we're definitely going to want to take a look.
Okay.
And Steve, if you see any species that we haven't yet seen, please call them out. You may or may not recognize them all.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out.
Thank you.
I'm going to reset you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We haven't seen a lot of fish diversity down here, have we? Lots of grenadiers. We've seen a couple of eel pouts. We've had some deep sea sole. Lots of thorny heads.
Yeah,
We've
the
had
soul
some
have kind of
rays.
disappeared.
Yeah. But really not a lot of high diversity in the fish community down here. I just think it's pretty deep for them. Oh, we saw the dragonfish last night at the seep dive. I don't know if folks saw that, but yeah, They're cool. They're very long and thin and have vicious teeth coming out of their small heads. They look really cool, but there was one on the seep dive last night that I was watching. Or was that yesterday? That was yesterday, noon to 8 p.m.
Jenny, we have in the chat a message from Meredith and Tom that if we see any more white Paragorgia colonies, that might be a potential sampling interest.
Excellent. Thank you for noting that. My side chat is not updating. I may have to re-log in. That's right. And the difficulty and expense in exploring this area means that most of the deep ocean on the planet has yet to be explored. There is magic left in the world. It's probably in the ocean.
It's funny how you can see how the small little pieces of hard substrate are like this refuge. Everything's holding on to them.
That actually brings up a good point about mapping. In this area, we think that most of the sanctuary is covered in sand and mud and unconsolidated sediments, but we're learning how important those little bits of hard substrate are, even if they are surrounded by lots of sand and mud. This place was scoured by glaciers, and so there's lots of glacial moraine and boulders that sit out on the continental shelf. And those tend to be very richly colonized with all sorts of things, whereas around it's kind of a little island in a way where all the life seems to concentrate. So I'm excited as mapping technology gets better and we're able to identify more of those small features that actually provide the good habitat for the majority of species.
Yeah, I love that concept because patchiness is important, it seems, for a lot of the biological distributions in the ocean. And it's hard to resolve patchiness, but then relate it to much larger scale processes. And I think with these better technologies, we're starting to be able to do stuff like that.
Absolutely. And all the metrics you can get with adjacency and, the distance from certain types of habitats and how that extends outwards. That's part of what Andrew's investigating with methane seeps, of
Right.
looking at a number of distances away from the seep so that he can characterize how that seep can influence the surrounding habitats.
Bridge now.
We're kind of in the vicinity now of that waypoint, right? We were trying to get to.
Oh, do you want to?
Okay.
We want to do a transect.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
are we set up for it? Have we got the ship in place and the
Uh,
distance? No major obstacles?
yep. So, um, yep, and it should be pretty level for the next 250 meters or so. So I can track a line.
Great. When you're ready, let's call it and start it. I'll let Steve do that because he's the logger.
All right. Yeah, we can start it at 57 minutes past, so that was about 10 seconds ago.
Great, let's go. Woohoo! Shooting for 200 meters in 15 to 20 minutes. Speed of approximately 0.3, 0.4 knots. This looks to be a good altitude for visual identification. I'm going to try not to get caught in our own cloud.
So, Bob, that might bring you a little off slope for a
Yep.
little bit. Okay, gotcha.
This depth range is squarely within the oxygen minimum zone. And so I'm wondering, are you able to see the oxygen saturation or concentration coming off the vehicle? Because I can't see it on Grafana right now.
Yeah, I have a stream here. I can let you know. So oxygen dropped off again over the past 20 minutes. So now around 5 micromolar. Pretty low.
Yeah. Well, and that's great context. Thank you, because it's telling us why we're not seeing so many things that are not tolerant to low oxygen conditions. These grenadiers seem to do just fine. And the thorny heads are pretty well adapted, but
falling right off of this thing.
Yeah.
Can we
So
stay on that contour?
the thing is, we're in this little. It's kind of wavy. There's a bend here, so
Ah,
I tried to get a nice in between of staying on.
it's always a balance, isn't it?
Yeah. Going up a hill is
I
really easy
feel
because
ya.
you just go up.
Yeah. Well, we try not to plan ROVs to go down too much
Right,
because
right.
we know that it's really hard, but sometimes the topography doesn't give us too many options. Looks like we're coming up on, is that just, gosh, it's hard to see. Looks like it's just substrate. When I stop and think about it, the fact that we can see the video feed from 1,200 meters down just astounds me. Whenever I stop to think about it, about what we're actually doing, I get really excited.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
There's a ridge with some corals on it.
Excellent. Let's We're on transect. We don't really want to stop and sample anything, but if there's something super compelling, we may want to drop a waypoint. There's a request for a red stick Swiftia. Ooh, what's that on the left, Steve?
Yeah,
The white.
I did see that. How much do you want to deviate from the
Not
trend?
much.
Yeah, so
But I'm just curious, can you recognize them?
yeah, I mean,
Are they all the same here, just different ages?
yeah, I think the white sticks are those white paragorgia that were mentioned before,
Uh-huh.
or at least that's what we've been calling them. And
Yep.
there's been also some red stick Swiftia as well.
Well, I'm glad to capture some of these on Transect. That's nice. Let's keep our motion and everything. I know it's hard not to stop and gawk a bit, but we got to hit that 200 meters if we can. Beautiful. Nice crab climbing structure.
I'm going to change our bearing to a little more north.
Okay.
To keep us.
Dave, could you pan the camera left, please? Is that possible? Or do we need to keep it stationary for the transect? Ah, Mongo. I get it. Thank you. Looks like we're about 10 minutes into our
Say,
transect. Could I please get an estimate of the distance we've come?
yep. So we've come 70 meters. We've covered a little bit more ground than that because there's been a slight bend in the.
Great, thank you. Looks like Tom and his crew will have a few things to count on this transect. That's nice. Any chance we can, oh, yeah, we're getting a little closer. I see it's bumpy. You're navigating around
Yeah, I'm
promontories and
bringing us
things.
up a little bit more. Trying to be less focused on
Thank
the
you.
next target and more focused on our current. But,
Thank you.
yep.
Looks good.
Is the sponge there?
The white.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll stay on transect for now.
yeah.
Yeah, we're about 100 meters now from the origin
The
of this.
slope's coming up on the right now.